As you know, anything happens in Egypt affects us all. So what happens in Egypt affects the Middle East, affects the entire world, and that's why Dr. Sam Sharaf is going to talk about what's happening in Egypt and how it is affecting us in the United States and in the world. And also what happens in Boston affects us all. What happens about on April 14th, which is about a week ago or so, we had a terrible incidents. Lots of innocent people were killed or injured. And I would like to emphasize that we are, as a MAPAC, we condemn all sorts of violence with anywhere. If it is in Boston or anywhere else, we condemn it with the strongest term. Our prayers with the victims, and also we'd like to thank the law enforcement people for their and also the first responders for their effective and efficient play they already demonstrated in the past few weeks. Well, Boston incident was not the first one. I looked actually at the last 9 months or so, starting July 20th. And we have James Egan Holmes actually killed 12 people and injured 58 people. Shooting attack at movie theater, killing those number of people. And remember his name, James Egan Holmes. Of course, also on August 5th, similar incident also happened. Army veteran Wade Michael Page also killed 7 people and injured 4. And Louisiana, on August 14th, a gang, including Terry Smith, also killed 2 people and injured 4 people. In August 15th, the same year, we have also a left-wing group that in Washington, D.C., and so forth. In Newton, Connecticut, Adam Lanza killed 28 people and injured 3 in shooting attack at Sandy Hook Elementary School. Okay. Now, when we talk about Johar Sanyev in Boston, when the people actually classify these incidents, they classify it to criminal or terrorism or something else. But what bothered me, actually, they classified some of these incidents, including Boston, which we all condemn, as Islamic terrorism. I don't know what Islamic terrorism is. Terrorism is terrorism. It doesn't matter who did it. The people of faith cannot be people of faith if they act any act of terrorism. So what I'm asking the media tonight, and I'm asking also the people who classify these things to understand the people of faith. The terrorist cannot be a terrorist if he's a Muslim or Christian or Jewish. People use the religion as a sort of hiding something behind it. So from tonight, I would like to condemn all sorts of terrorism, and we also ask the people who are concerned to be careful, because if we continue to label people or a certain group with any certain label, these people can be affected. What happens, as I said before, what happens in Boston can affect us, not only us, but any people of color, or any people who has a Sikh, like turban or something. They misidentify them, and and it's unfair. So this, in order to fight terrorism, we have to work together, law enforcement together, people of faith together, and every group in this country, in order to protect the civil and peace-loving people. So it takes all of us to fight terrorism. Well, having said that, I would like also to just ask you as a group to get involved in MAPAC, because without you guys, we cannot continue that way. So we have really to be, to give to your neighbor, to your community. You cannot be a good citizen if you cannot really contribute to the well-being of the society. So I encourage each one of you to attend their kids' school, PTA meetings, and so forth, and also reach to your neighbor. Invite them for a cup of coffee, cup of tea, or talk. Just let the people know who you are. And by that, I would just like to ask Khodr Zaarour, he is the political director, to come and talk about MAPAC mission goals and achievement for this past year. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening. The participant in a truly democratic society cannot allow themselves to fall victims to political prejudice and non-inclusive doctrines. The strength of democracy and multiculturalism depends on all of us to participate, to sacrifice, persevere, and stand up for what's right and for justice. We all are Americans. MAPAC has started 2001, and we have been able to accomplish a lot of our goals and missions. Sorry about that, that was my phone. Okay. MAPAC mission simply is to engage, to empower ourselves through a voting system, through process, fight prejudice, and not only against Muslims, but non-Muslims alike. All Americans deserve the right to be heard and the right to certainly participate in a political process. To empower ourselves, we decided to have 3 political departments within MAPAC. Political affairs, basically to participate in the political process in order to influence public policy for all Americans, not only for Muslims. Provide Islamic perspectives on issues and defend the rights of civil rights and civil liberties of all Americans with the help of non-Muslims. Media, to develop a working relationship with the media in order to present Islamic perspectives on political and social issues. Respond to defamation and misinformation about Islam and Muslims, and educate the media personnel about Islam and Muslims in this country and abroad. Community affairs is to promote and participation of Muslims in community service, outreach activities, a lot of workshops, a lot of participation with non-Muslim communities, sponsorship of non-Muslim programs, providing Muslim perspective, and volunteerism. That's what's missing in the Muslim community, and certainly MAPAC will promote that each and every time we have an opportunity to do so. And last year, we have organized educational information programs and seminars through political process, participation, and civil rights. We have organized training programs with other organizations. We set up voter registration drives, attended local, state, and national protests against civil rights, civil liberties violations. We sent representatives to the Triangle Human Rights Association, ACLU, and the Interfaith of Wake County. We invited elected officials. We held several political forums, and we have started building coalitions with all groups in North Carolina. We have served on the Method League committee, and we have appeared on several radio and TV talk shows, locally, nationally, and internationally. With this, I will ask you for one favor, okay? And that's not for me, it's for the Muslim community. That is to participate. Everyone can do something. No one is powerless. Your voice, you can change the world. With your money, you can change the world. And certainly with your health, your vote, and your prayers. Thank you very much. Welcome.
Congressman David Price has been so kind to join us, and his time is also a little bit limited. He is truly a veteran of the MAPAC dinner. I don't remember a MAPAC dinner without him. He's going to come and share a few words.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. And good evening. Lisa, my wife, is with me here tonight, and we're very happy to join you. We indeed do look forward to this each year. We have been regulars at the MAPAC dinner, and you've been regulars in holding the dinner. and in opening up your hospitality to the wider community. So we're grateful for your including elected officials at all levels, and we are looking forward to this evening with an especially distinguished guest, former Prime Minister Sharaf, who will be delivering, I'm sure, a powerful message, and we're looking forward to hearing him. I have just come in from Washington, and it's always nice to get home, but these days it's especially nice to get home because what's going on in Washington is not particularly to my liking. I wish I had more influence, of course, and I wish we could do more to further our country's interests. We're struggling. It's polarized. It's divided. But it's wonderful to come to this dinner and to have this spirit of community and of unity. And so it's refreshing to me, and I appreciate you're always inviting us. It's a pleasure to join the community leaders who are here. This is the 11th year, I think, for this dinner. There are a couple of common threads that connect these dinners. One is the hospitality that the Muslim American community shows to the wider community. The other is that we have always lots of things to talk about, many possible subjects that could be raised. And I promise you I'm going to be very brief and not raise anything like the number of subjects that we could have a good discussion about tonight, because we live in a complicated world, and we have many things that we need to reason together about. We're still captivated by the breathtaking changes in the Middle East, from Morocco to Tunisia to Jordan. Also concerned about the challenges ahead, especially in countries like Egypt and Libya, and of course Syria, very much on our minds. Recent revelations about the Assad regime's use of chemical weapons against its opposition, the continued desecration of holy sites, such as the Grand Mosque at Aleppo. These reports are troubling and tragic. I believe our own government must do more to enlist the international community to confront Assad and to provide aid and support to those who are fighting for a democratic Syria. As our country navigates these winds of change in the Middle East, we must not lose sight of the region's most intractable conflict, that between Israel and Palestine. I've been encouraged by the early attention that the Obama administration has devoted to the issue in his second term. I believe we must remain vigilant in holding the administration accountable to its good intentions. Many other issues we could discuss here. We could discuss Congress's continuing budget follies. That's on my mind as I come in today. We're undermining economic growth in this country, I fear, hurting investments on which many of us depend. Today we applied a Band-Aid, some damage control to the air traffic control problem. But there are many more problems looming ahead. Do we now apply a Band-Aid to cancer research or to Head Start for our young children? The whole sequestration idea is a disaster and needs very desperately to be reversed and corrected with a serious long-term budget plan. We could discuss the need to reform our nation's immigration laws. That may actually happen this year. There are some hopeful signs, but also plenty of pitfalls ahead. I know many of you have a stake in that and an interest in that, and believe me, I do as well. But let me, in closing, reflect on a situation that I know weighs heavily on our hearts this evening. That is the tragic and senseless attack that occurred last week in Boston. The attacks have forced us once again to confront the ugly specter of anti-Muslim sentiment in our own country. They forced us once again to take stock of where we stand as a nation, what we're about as a nation, and what it means to be an American and a Muslim American. I think there's some modest reasons for encouragement. our collective national reaction to the attacks has really not focused as much on the Muslim identities of the perpetrators, as much as on their ethnic roots, their sense of cultural displacement, dispossession, their views on specific U.S. policies. But not far below the surface, the dark currents of ignorance and intolerance and bigotry are churning once again. Just turn on Fox News or start browsing the internet and you will quickly encounter it. I fear that that's all too true. So I'm not going to try to fully understand what the American Muslim communities are experiencing at times like this, nor will I pretend to offer any easy solutions. Since its founding, our nation has grappled with difficult questions of tolerance, diversity, and minority rights, and the task of building a more permanent union is never complete. But I will emphasize, as I have on many occasions, that MAPAC and organizations like it have both an opportunity and a responsibility in moments like this to represent the true, peaceful face of Islam in America, to educate our neighbors and our elected officials, to lead by example through acts of citizenship and community service, and yes, to ensure that American Muslim communities are confronting extremism when it occurs in their own ranks. This organization has done an exemplary job of this over the last decade, and you've done it through some exceedingly difficult times. I know it may feel like you have to start all over again every time an incident or an attack occurs. But I'm confident you're up to that task. I value what you do, the role you play in this community, and I'm not alone in that. I speak for many, many of my fellow citizens. I also value the relationship we have as your representative, as your congressman. And I value the chance that this banquet gives us each year to reaffirm those ties. Thank you.